Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Food for Thought, wherein we discuss about physical, emotional, and mental well being. And today we have an interesting guest. We are in conversation with Tanya Sahoo. Tanya is a trauma specialist. She owns her own private practice, Unlock the Mind Counseling Services. She supports and helps a lot of them who have mental health challenges. So, Tanya, welcome to my channel and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Yusra, for inviting me, and it's pleasure to be here to discuss about this great topic.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Well, today's topic is very interesting, and I see it's very important as well, which is important to a lot of parents and the community now. Childhood. Childhood is memorable, it's fun, but it's also important and critical part of our life. How does this experience in childhood, which each one of us face, shape a person's personality?
See, Utra, I will tell you something. This is a very interesting topic. When you told me about the childhood trauma, I said, yes, it's need to be go to the public and people need to know what exactly it is because childhood has a very important role for each person's life. And when a child, have a like it's a very important issue when they have a caring parents, lovable parents, and supportive, and it's like they're getting their basic needs. It's more important for a child, and which I can say it's boost their confidence, and they get usually connect to the society easily. They develop a very good relationship. They develop trust, and they have a positive impact on their life. But sometimes, all the children or most of the person also now in the adulthood, they don't have a very blessed childhood, and where they have gone through several challenges in their childhood, which is very traumatized and which created trauma on their life. And it's if it's not rectified in the childhood, it's carried forward to the adulthood. And yeah, and this is how the trauma carries on and create different mental health challenges on their life.
Okay. And that's very interesting, right? Because recently I was listening to a podcast wherein they mentioned the relationship a child experiences with a mother versus a father. They experience a different kind of a trauma as they grow and shapes a personality when they grow up in terms of confidence and the people they meet. So, what are the different kinds of childhood trauma that typically we face?
See, first of all, I like to explain when I say trauma, what exactly it is. It is like a very distressing and stressful situation when happen in a child life, which affect them emotionally, physically, or psychologically. And the trauma has been categorized in three types, which is acute trauma, chronic trauma, and a complex trauma. So when I say the acute trauma, it's usually caused by natural disaster, accident, or lost their if when a person is losing their caregiver from the childhood itself, and sometimes the children, the country which is having a war, they have seen a lot of challenges during that time. This is a very traumatic experience, which is considered by the acute trauma. And the chronic trauma is by abuse or neglected, which is, if I'll give an example, when a child gets sexually abused or, like abused physically by their caregiver or someone else, which is caused them a trauma and it stay for in their life for a long time. And the final one is the complex trauma. What is it exactly? The complex trauma is the ongoing one. It's either by a caregiver or by someone else. It's continue with their life for few many years and which is affect them very badly and it stays with them for lifelong.
So, again, I mean, when we talk about childhood trauma, and thanks for actually clarifying, what that childhood trauma could be and the different types of it, because it's as a parent or as just person in the community, it's very difficult for us to gauge as to how we could handle a situation, an adult or a child as such in such situations. And this kind of through gives us a better clarity to understand a person's behavior better when you kind of broke it up into these three segments. So what are the practical tips that you would like to share with us, like for a
Yeah.
parent or even for a family member on a day to day basis, that we could probably work on ourselves so that we can avoid, or I would say reduce, these kind of experiences for a child?
Yeah, when you say experience, I would like to inform, first of all, like what are the impact when your child gone through this kind of trauma? Usually, parents can observe from their children when the child is become shut down, they become silent, they don't behave normal as they behave. And you can see they feel very shame, guilty about themselves. They are not developing the relationship with others how they used to be, either with the teacher or friends or with the other family members. And also, they sometimes they develop a very trust issues and they don't connect with their parents as usual. So what I can say during that time, that having the parents having a very open communication with them can help the child to open up about what exactly is happening on their life. And it's very important for the parents to provide a non-judgmental and active listening skill which help them, the children, to provide a supportive atmosphere where the child can open up and explore what exactly is happening on their life.
Right.
And also sometimes, they don't the children are it's they don't feel like to discuss, and which shows on their behavior. And as a parent, it's our responsibility to identify why it's happening, you know and slowly developing a bond with them by showing love, affection, and it can be help a child to be slowly building a trust on their parents, because when person goes through trauma, they lost their trust. They don't trust anyone, even sometimes not their parents, because it's a very huge impact on them. And that's why I encourage parents to be to be more socialize their children, taking to the activities, taking to the group activities for the children to be mingle with the other children, because few children develop the anxiety, depression, or social phobia. They don't like to mingle with the people, and it's necessary to be mingle with the people, limiting their nowadays very fancy things are happening. People, the children, they just give any kind of like gadget to use it, the screen time. Most of the time parents are busy, they don't have time. It's not about nobody has time, everybody has time. It's about matter of giving a priority to a person, and limiting their screen time, spending your time with them. It's a more way to be building a resilience with a child. And also I can say, as a parent, sharing their positive things, as a like a role model, positive role model, sharing some challenges they face in their life, how they overcome with the situation, or some risk things, how they overcome, teaching them problem solving skill can help the child to develop, to overcome their stress and mingle with others. It's develop a positive attitude on them.
Great. Thanks for that, Tanya. And yeah, something that all of us in this generation can relate to is dedicating that time to the children, right? And as you rightly said, all of us have time, but it's about prioritizing. And what I've learned from my friends who I believe are great parents and are doctors and psychiatrists as well, even that dedicated 15 minutes of time in a day with a child helps. So how can you share some practical tips how to balance work-life balance? Some of the quick tips that has worked well.
See, for me, parents are struggling with the time management at the moment, organizing a timetable for themselves first, what goes, which one is their priority. And, having a time management, maintaining journal and all the things help the parents, first of all, to organize their time. And out of that, if they keep some time for their children, it's more helpful for themselves to be get rid of their stressful life, to get some spending some time with the child, going through activities or socializing. It's helped the parents as well as the child. And also, I first of all, I recommend to having a proper boundaries. What related stuff should be stay at work, and the home things. It need to be personal things. It need to be at home. This is how I manage my timetable. So I think it will be work for most of them people as well.
Yes, and I must say, from ever since we have met, I've observed that you do organize your time, and those are the tips I would take back from you as well. It's not just about your work and managing the work time, but it's also your personal and social life, that you have that timetable and you stick to that and you have those boundaries. So thanks for that. And yeah, the other thing I would definitely want to hear from you is, what's the final message that you'd like to give us as parents and to the community?
For me, I can say childhood trauma has a very big impact in a person's life. If it's not treated in a properly in when it's happening or in the future, in adulthood, you recognize something it's there in your life. If it's not treated properly in the childhood, it will become much more stronger in the adulthood, where a person not only impact themselves, they impact whole people around them, and it's impact their relationship. They start avoidance behavior, social phobia, or the mental health issues. And that's why sometimes the adult they get trigger without any abuse. So that's why I always recommend people to be identify what exactly is happening with them, why this avoidance behavior, or why there is something you. And sometimes people blame for their behavior to others, but when something is happening, why it's happening, first you identify yourself. Like, is that something I did wrong, or something is happening? Why it's happening? First of all, having awareness about it, and finally, if you feel like you can't identify, then seeking a professional help usually helps the people. So I think it's for my message will be identifying their own childhood trauma or other things are happening in their life, and seeking a support will be much helpful for the community.
Great, thank you, Tanya. And that's such a strong message, though you made it sound so simple, but there's so much, intention to support the community, which has a ripple effect for the coming generations. So thank you so much. And these practical tips that you've shared and insight of what a childhood trauma and the different types of childhood trauma are really important. So thank you so much. And I'm sure our viewers have benefited. So, in case they would want to reach out to you, I would definitely share your details in my description box. But, just quickly, if you would want to share the details as to how they could reach out to you, who would need a professional help or even just have a conversation with you.
Oh, definitely. What exactly I do, my private practice is, as you mentioned in the beginning, it's Unlock the Mind counseling service. They can reach me they can go through my website. All the details are there. And my website is www.unlockthemindcounseling.com.au. And they can book through that as well. Or if they want to have a conversation, my phone number is there. They can give me a call on that. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you, Tanya. And thank you, viewers. I'm sure this episode was really helpful. Please feel free to reach out to Tanya if you would need a counselor or a professional help. And as you see, Tanya has got a great experience in the industry, and especially childhood trauma being such a critical part of our lives. It's important we identify that and seek help. And it's okay to go ahead and seek help. So, talk to you all soon. See you in the next episode. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Tanya.
Thank you, Utra, for the invitation.